Welcome to the Celestial Scholar Podcast, where evidence meets energy and the stars tell more than stories. They reveal blueprints for the soul. I'm Dr. Lauren Van Gerwen, communication scholar, intuitive astrologer, and curious human being, here to guide you through the cosmic patterns shaping your path. Whether you're a skeptic, a seeker, or somewhere in between, this space invites you to explore astrology as a tool for reflection, empowerment, and self-understanding. Let's unfold the sky together. So welcome to our Season 1 finale. Over the past 9 episodes, we've traced cosmic blueprints, decoded synastry, held space for beginners, skeptics, and soul seekers alike, and now we arrive here, at the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. So we started this journey by looking at and talking about how I got into this. I've been studying astrology since I was a kid. And then why I do this. I'm fascinated by astrology, not just because it gives me prescriptive answers, which it really doesn't, but because it gives me the language to describe the esoteric nature of our soul's path. Language for patterns, for potential, and for soul level unfolding. As a researcher, for somebody who's always asking why, astrology is like a research methodology for the metaphysical. We can take what astrology gives us and relate it to other people. And again, I study communication. I research communication. How we talk to one another, how we communicate affects us as human beings and our relationships. And I do the same thing with astrology. Earlier this season, we talked with Savannah. She was a guest on the show, and she had a surgery that was coming up and asked me to take a look at a specific range of dates to see if astrology could tell her if this was a positive or a negative time to have that surgery. And to refresh your memory, I looked at the date that she happened to have it scheduled, and it actually did work out. Now, time will tell if that was correct or not. And is it correlation? Is it just the way it would have been regardless of astrology in the reading? Typically, when people call me and they want a reading outside of the basic natal chart reading, they are calling me for a transit reading. They want to know, hey, I am trying to decide whether to end this relationship or not. Or I'm at a crossroads with my job, and this is a true story. So a friend of mine wanted help, he wanted guidance. He felt discouraged in his job, like he was stagnant. He wanted to ask for a raise or a promotion, but also he was kind of looking at maybe just applying to other jobs and leaving. So we opened up his transits. And when I tell you, it leapt out at me and I said, ask for a promotion. Have you asked? Have you asked for a raise? I said, because you've certainly earned it. It's here. And the window of time for the promotion to be lucky, like fate was in his favor. The next week, he asked for the promotion. He got it. I mean, it was like a 20 grand bump in pay. It was not small potatoes. So let's say you want some guidance about your love life. Another person, a client came to me, and she was dating 3 people at the same time, all open, of course, no commitment. And she was pretty sure of where she wanted her options to go, but not 100%. So I went ahead and I looked, and her chart told me, like, none of these people are probably your end-all be-all long-term relationship. And I couldn't really get more out of the chart without going into the future, but I'm not psychic, so I didn't know when and where to look. Now, what did I do? I read her tarot cards. And I pulled one card for her, one for each of the people she was interested in. And then we just asked the universe guiding questions. And when I tell you like that, it fell into place and was so awesome. I was like, this person, absolutely not. No. And then the second person, I was like, okay, they're very genuine. The feelings are very real. They will never commit to you. I'm so sorry. And the other person was, absolutely fantastic. And so then when we talk again, 4, 5, 6 months later, whenever they come back, I can follow up and say, so what decisions did you make? How did that work out? What happened? So I get real-time, tangible feedback and evidence, and it becomes a dynamic, a interpersonal dynamic of guidance for your path. In this season of the podcast, you were able to listen to several live readings of people, and you got an idea of who they were as a person. But that's not my favorite thing about astrology, because you know who you are. And if I get to know you, then I'll know who you are too. My favorite thing is transits, because that tells us where you've been and where you're going. It can help guide you. It's a map. It's a blueprint telling you what your strengths and weaknesses and challenges are that you may or may not see coming. Now I'll give you an example from my own chart. So anyone who has known me over the last year knows that almost exactly a year ago, I had a concussion. It was a freak accident. I slipped on a piece of ice at a party in a restaurant, but my head, right on the concrete floor. And I didn't have any symptoms for about a day. It was really, really tough. So once I realized, oh no, I have a concussion, I go to the doctor, all of that. And then I'm like, I, every few years, have a head injury. That's interesting. So I go and I pulled up my transits for that day. And of course, I knew approximately to the minute when it was. And then I was like, okay, when was that time that I slipped on a Lego at my friend's house and face planted into a pile of more Legos? Got a black eye and a little piece of a Lego stuck in my face for a while. I know. Exact to the degree, same placement. The culprit was Mars, of course. So then I thought, wow, when did I get a concussion and have to get 3 stitches in my head? I used to work at Agave, and the giant novelty bottle of tequila that used to be on top of the shelf in the downtown location fell on my head one day. And same exact placement to the degree. Mars in Cancer in the 11th degree. And then I looked back even more. So, okay, I just got an ephemeris table and I was like, okay. And I checked every single date and time, going back like 6, 7, 8 years. Another time was a fender bender. Another time, something else fell on my head. I was pregnant with Luna at that time. And so now I know, I think it's August of 2026. I'm just going to bubble wrap myself. No more concussions, no broken bones, no fender benders. But so that type of thing. The longer you know me and I get to know your chart, the more we can uncover together these types of patterns to help guide your life. Another topic that people ask about a lot is health and wellness. So this is not an exact science of medicine, okay? I am not that type of doctor. But if you are wondering, should I go? I've been feeling off. Should I go and prioritize getting this checked out sooner than later? I can look at your chart and see if there's any maleffects affecting your health house. And then the answer will be, oh, dear God, yes, like go sooner than later. Or, just go whenever you have your next annual exam scheduled or whatever. But it can help you make decisions on timing. So let's talk about luck. There are transits that can influence whether it is a luckier time to apply for a job or to buy a house or to go back to school to get another degree or a degree, things like that. Some people are very, very lucky and they have what I call the luck placement in their chart. And for those people, when you've got the double luck and the luck transit is aspecting your luck placement, go buy a lottery ticket. I've told people to do that a couple of times. They didn't. But maybe one day they will. So if you've enjoyed this podcast, you've enjoyed listening to me talk about astrology and reading other people, that experience and that enjoyment pales in comparison to what you'll feel when we're actually sitting next to each other and I'm reading your chart. It can be in person, it can be on, Zoom or FaceTime, The modality doesn't matter. But what I'll do is I'll look at your chart, which is the stars in the sky, where they were above the sky at the minute you were born, in the exact place that you were born. And I can tell you about yourself. I can tell you about things that you've experienced in your life. And I can tell you about what surprises might be ahead of you. And the first natal chart reading is really just setting the stage for a long-term relationship with, think of me like any other practitioner, a yoga instructor, or a therapist even, somebody that you can trust and go to for guidance periodically as you need it. I'm Dr. Lauren Van Gerwen, and I am the Celestial Scholar. Thank you, as always, for joining me on this journey through the stars. If you want to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram. You can DM me. You can click my link and see all of my services, descriptions, and then you can schedule a reading with me. I can't wait to help you understand the messages that the universe has for your soul's path. So until next time, keep listening inward and upward.